Tinker is gonna BOT in. Oh my god, that Necrolite just got raped. It looks like this bottom Rax is going to go down. This is a 15-minute, 13-second Rax being taken down by NWO. This is a push strat being played correctly here. And this range Rax is going to fall down very, very shortly as well. And Nirvana China is digging themselves into a hole that might be too deep to be dug out of. And I think I mean, this lane, right, I already said in many of my commentaries, losing a bottom lane for as a Sentinel is just very, very detrimental, as we see the TIE Hunter and the Lion getting into a 1v1 duke here. But Tinker is going to come in to support, and that TIE Hunter is going to go down. So Nirvana China making mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. But let's look at the bottom lane again here. Of course, you're going to lose a lot of map control, and whenever there's a big Roshan fight going on, there's not going to be, teleport support. Generally, if you have this tower up, or if you have the mid tower up, you could TP and just run to the Roshan very quickly. But the fact that your creeps are here, you have to push really, really far out. That is the first big disadvantage for losing one of your bot racks on Sentinel. The second big disadvantage that all these creeps takes forever to kill, and I do mean forever. Like look at their HP, right? 700 HP, and the fact that these guys only do like 70 damage, it's just gonna take a long time to kill. Should turn your creep armor on, dude. You really need to turn that creep armor on. But not only do they take a long time to kill, but they also give absolutely no experience or gold. So basically they have lost like 33% of their farming capability in the lane. And they constantly have to, dedicate at least 1 or 2 heroes at the bottom lane, and that is not going to help them out in terms of being ganked or being pushed upon on any other lane. And finally, this big creep wave, this is going to mean that Tinker is always going to have a quick, easy access into the enemy base. If there's any like team fight over here or a team fight over here, Tinker could easily just TP very close in proximity to the enemy base. So that Tinker can help out in the game. Keep in mind that Tinker's rockets just have a ridiculous range. If there's like a fight going on here, Tinker could just TP in here and help out with rockets as well. So that is just being insane. So far we do see NWO retaining every single one of their exterior tower. Meanwhile, the Scourge team only having 2 level 2 towers left and losing entire racks. Let me check how item progression is doing. Oh, there's a fight going on here. Stormstar gotta be careful here, and this is what I mean by that BOT Tinker going into Chen creep here. If Chen's gonna be getting ganked, he is gonna have support here. These guys are lingering around a little bit too long here. Not too sure whether they could get a push off or anything. TIE Hunter is going to walk bravely in, and he's going to try to get a good Ravage on. But unfortunately, oh, he's really, really brave, man. Gotta turn back, because there is that Laser Tinker waiting for them. And looks like there's not going to be a push. Yeah, the Sentinel team is going to be backing up. Gonna check how everyone's doing in terms of farm and the item progression. Of course, we do have BLT Tinker being finished. Vanguard and a Ultimator on that Venomancer. Witch Doctor going for an Ogre Axe. Is going to be a BKB or a Agamemnon Scepter. Not too sure. Probably going to go for a BKB, because if he was going for the Agamemnon Scepter, would have went for the point booster first. It's more effective that way. Of course, we do have the Lion going for that Blink Dagger. It's finished. Mecha on the Chen, so we do see the Scourge very, very stacked, and you would expect them to be stacked because they've been pushing extremely well. Oh, big team fight going on here in the jungle here. A lot of ultimate being passed. The Chain Frost is bouncing around like crazy, but those Chain Creeps taking a lot. Necrolite is going to be falling off, and oh my god, we do have the TIE Hunter going to go down, the Lich going to go down. I apologize for missing the first half of that team fight, but the end result was pretty much the same. We probably could have just guess what happened in the beginning of the team fight. Ravage and Chain Frost being cast, but these guys just are the masters of fighting long battles. Hand of God, Venomancer, and of course the Marcher Machine does a lot of residual damage. Also, the longer the team fight goes on, the more heal that Witch Doctor is going to get off with his Voodoo Restoration. So that is not going to help out. And again, every single team fight that is going to be lost, that means you're going to lose another tower as well. And I think the reason that they lost the team fight at the bottom lane was because that Visage was forced to defend at this point, and unable to join the team fight. I think Visage definitely helped out with the familiars, but I think with the Visage there, personally, he would have helped out a little bit more, or a lot more, excuse me. As we see a mid push gonna be coming on here as well here. I think Nirvana China is almost lights out for them. I don't really see anything going right for them. They haven't won any significant team fight. Necrolite doesn't have any items because he's really being forced to buy back. I mean, he does have, what, 90 creep kills, but he has a lot of gold loss here. So we see Necrolite probably gonna go down once again here. They are gonna go for the Lion taking a lot of damage. Lion does go down, but Necrolite goes down once again here. Venomancer very low HP, and Oh, a lot of damage being traded up. We do see Necrolite buys back, and it looks like he is gonna TP, gonna go for. Oh, nothing's gonna go for. And they go for the Alpha Wolf, man. Really good choice, creep. It looks like the Lich is gonna overextend himself a little bit too much. Is gonna go down as well. Necrolite is gonna try to go in and kill someone. Probably gonna kill the Witch Doctor with the Reaper side. There we go. But Tinker is gonna be OT and is gonna get grabbed by the Stormster. Stormster does get another kill here, but again, Necrolite goes down once again here, and Necrolite is their hardcore carry, so can be going down like this. Meanwhile, we do see the Stormster just taking a lot of damage. Looks like Stormster might be going down to that poison here, and Venomancer is gonna live through that as well. Tidehunter gets ward block. Really well done by Pycat here, blocking the escape path of the what you would call it. Looks like PIS did live through that poison, but really they have just sustained so much damage. I think Necrolite died once, bought back, and died again, so that is just a lot of gold loss for that Necrolite. Necrolite just farming whatever he can. He is Zoe, right? He last hit like a champ. Well, he missed the last hit there. But really, I mean, he is leading game in creeps by a mile. He's 101 creeps, and really he is like, you know, he basically got he's out farming the heaviest farmer on Scourge at least by double. But the thing, like 2,000 gold lost, that is, you know, that is an ultimate orb right there. That is an ultimate orb right there. So that is just quite unfortunate for the Nirvana China team. Let me see how the Nirvana China team is doing with their item progression here. Stormster not even close to his BKB. He is sitting at 700 gold. Does he have any components being finished? No components being finished, so he's not doing too well. Tidehunter have treads, not too bad. Lich has treads as well. The Necrolite just have a cloak and treads. And let me see, where's the last guy? Visage going for that mecha and have a treads as well. So everyone just have treads. That's how bad they're doing. They just have treads and a couple of headdress and whatnot, but that's it. It looks like they might be trying to push this top lane. Top tower is just very, very low HP. It looks like the Scourge is not going to be denying it. I have to commend the Scourge for their greed and for the fact that they are just making this a very good risk move. And I think the reason they're not denying this is that right now, Scourge have the Sentinel team on a very, very good choke lock. And, I mean, at least if they deny this, they immediately give the Scourge team extra 500 gold. And you don't know whether this extra 500 gold is going to translate into a quick mecha being finished. You don't know whether this 500 gold is going to be translated into a couple more wards or whatnot. So why not just take the risk if you're so much ahead? Just take the risk of just keeping the tower up and not even denying it. I think that's a very, very good move done by NWO. Or they definitely have the ability to deny it at the very last second, because they do have the BLT Tinker to come in support. So there's that. It looks like when I was talking about that, they did take off the Roshan. Let me see who got the Aegis. I'm pretty sure the Tinker should have got the Aegis. Tinker is going to be holding Aegis, and we do see Mystic Staff being picked up by Kuroki here. Now, of course, Mystic Staff does have two choice for that Tinker. It's going to be either a Shiva's or the Hex here. Normally, if I see like a 24-minute Shiva's or 24-minute Mystic Staff on Tinker, I would say, you know, Shiva's is a better choice because it really accelerates your farm. As we see a Blink gang going on DGP here, and is gonna zip out. Did he not have Finger of Death? He did have Finger of Death, so I gotta say that was a mistake by Az, and maybe he was waiting for, he tries to ninja in a single more attack. As Nirvana Zo TPs in safely cancel, or smartly cancel there. He would have been in trouble if he TP'd in like that, but yeah, that was a mistake by Asin, because he did have that Finger of Death, and I'm not too sure why he held it a little bit longer. But right now at this point, we do see NWO just having any tower that they want, and they are going to put a lot of pressure at the mid and top lane, and at the same time we do see pressure being put down by the bottom lane as well, and these guys are just in trouble here. We do see PIS just laying down so many remnants trying to defend against these guys. I'm not too sure whether they could defend here. And let's see. It looks like, wow, we have Force Staff being finished by Chen as well. A Puppy just playing an excellent game. Force Staff, of course, I think it's just the best item game. Force Staff, the Necrolite in, and they're going to try to focus on the Necrolite. Necrolite goes down before he even casts any spells. We do see the two big ultimates for the center going down, and they are going to pick off the line before anything happens. It looks like TIE Hunter might be in trouble. Looks like we do have the Necrolite buys back once again. And are they going to hold? I'm not too sure whether they can hold. Visage is going to take a lot of damage. And are they going to pick off the Necro? Oh, Venomancer gets picked down. And they're going to go for the Chen as well. Chen very low HP. Chen does get picked down as well. But they did lose the Visage. Tinker is on a haywire. And Tinker is going to picked off as well. So a single buyback for the Necrolite, and they are going to pick up the Aegis and the Tinker as well. So really, really good defense coming from Nirvana China. Triple kill for Nirvana Zo is going to get back his buyback gold at the very least. It gives him a lot of EXP as well. So really well done for Nirvana China. That was really against all odds, because at the beginning of the team fight, Necrolite got 4 staff out, and you know, like they fought the remainder of the team fight 4v5. Yes, Necrolite did buyback, but he, you know, took the time to walk up and whatnot. So that was quite unfortunate for Nirvana China, but thankfully they held. Really, really well done by the Nirvana China team here. But really, again, it feels like more or less a Pyrrhic victory, because yes, they did defend, but they, you know, bought back a lot, and I'm not too sure whether it's all worth it at the end. You know what I'm saying? So a little bit unfortunate for the Nirvana China team. Again, these towers are just being held, and if you just want to count the tower, like that's 2 towers here, 2 towers here, and 3 towers here. That's what, 7 towers times 200 each. That's 1,400 gold for each single player on the Scourge team. That's 1,400. Basically that's an extra treads of gold worth on every single Scourge player. And you might be wondering why they're so ahead in terms of inventory. That is exactly why. It looks like Tinker has gone for the Shiva route. I was talking about that earlier. I definitely think that the Hex Stick is a little bit better in this case, because you're winning so hard anyways. You're not looking forward to farming in a very, very long game, like anyways. So really, you don't need the Shivas to give you more farm. Shiva is more or less an item just to help you farm. Yes, it does have like a 200 AoE burst, you know, damage and slow, and give you armor and whatnot, but I think Hex at this point is going to be a lot better against that Stormsurge. They really need to keep the Stormsurge down. If the Sentinel is going to make a comeback, they have to do it on the back of that Necrolite and the Stormsurge, and I think just having an extra Hex is just a lot better. We do see the Glyph being popped. The TIE Hunter is going to walk in, trying to bait out a couple of stuns on him before he casts his ultimate. Marching Machine is going to just do so much residual damage on these guys, and this tower is just going to take a lot of damage. We did see a 4-staff trying to bait out the TIE Hunter's ultimate, but I think even if he 4-staffed the TIE Hunter in, he would just pop his ultimate. I don't think the TIE is afraid to use his ultimate at any point. But this is just a like a siege warfare, right? The longer that this battle is gonna go on, the more damage this Ancient Protector is gonna take, and sooner or later this tower is gonna go down. And maybe Scourge is right now waiting for the bottom creeps to push a little bit more into the enemy base, so that no matter what happens here in the team fight, you know, some even more buildings will be lost at the bottom lane. So I mean, all they have to do is just camp out the enemy base here and just wait for these guys to push. If they see a single hero to go down to defend, they could just immediately mount the mid push. Looks like Tinker is going to go defend the top, not giving up at any single tower. I think a lot of teams in this case would have been like, well, you know what, we're going to break mid racks anyways, so you know, just give up the top tower. Not too big of a deal, right? But no, actually, NWO showing the vigilance here. They do have the Sentinel team on a very strong chokehold, and they are not going to give them any room to breathe. Not even allowing them to take this tower that is sitting at 91 HP. Not even denying it for that extra gold.